throwing to Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson makes someone miss. Garrett Wilson's loose to the 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Breece Hall cuts up the middle. Breece Hall's loose. Breece Hall's gone. Breece Hall is gone. He walks into the end zone. Josh Allen fires it over the middle. Intercepted. Sauce Gardner picks off Allen. Sauce Gardner, let's go. The rookie picks off Josh Allen. Win it. It's ball. Oh my God. Drops back to pass. He fires it over the middle. Touchdown. Garrett Wilson. The New York Jets tie the football game. The rookie. The Jets win. The Jets win. Ashton Davis. Ice the game. Let's go. Handle Quinton Williams with the tackle for loss. That's a loss of 5 yards. Josh Allen is going to fire up a bomb. Josh Allen. Sauce Gardner's there for the game winner. The New York Jets beat the Buffalo Bills and improved to 6-3 on the year. Sauce Gardner. Yeah. That's how we get on the ball, boy. Yeah. Yo, Jets Nation, welcome back to Jets Media. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. We are going to break down what the heck is the update with Aaron Rodgers and Derek Carr in today's live stream. Everybody hit that thumbs up button on your way into the show. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you guys always tuning in to Jets Media. So it's been a hectic, what is it? Feels like years, but it's been months, weeks, whatever you want to call it, of this Jets quarterback search. And today, Aaron Rodgers has emerged from the darkness. Aaron Rodgers is out of his retreat. He's seen the light. And now we wait for Aaron Rodgers' decision. Now, as someone who has been to retreats like myself, I've been to yoga retreats. I know what it's like. I've never been on a darkness retreat. That's a completely different animal. But I know what it's like to kind of unplug and go a little, I've been to really awesome stuff. But my point and reason why I bring it up is the integration of that is tricky. There are some times when you go to a retreat and you come back home and you're, thrown back into the world. It takes a little bit to get readjusted. So I'm curious if Aaron Rodgers is going to be clear-minded right after his retreat and he's going to be like, yep, okay, let's go with the Packers. Or he's going to need a couple more days to kind of recollect his thoughts and, adjust to being back into the light, being back into society, being back into the real world. Because I think that, we are all waiting for Aaron Rodgers' decision because the Derek Carr news on the flip hand, it seems like the Jets and Derek Carr hit it off. And we heard from David Carr's brother. I made a video on that a couple days ago. And the New York Jets and Derek Carr, their meeting went smooth and their meeting went phenomenal. So now we wait to see what Derek Carr's next move is going to be. I'm assuming he's going to go out there and meet with other teams, such as the Carolina Panthers potentially, maybe the Tennessee Titans, other teams that are looking for quarterbacks, not too sure. But Derek Carr is going to take his time. He's not in a rush to really go out there and make his decision. And then we have to wait for Aaron Rodgers because we've been seeing so many different conflicting reports about Aaron Rodgers, guys, and we're going to break it all down. A couple of weeks, like last week, we hear Green Bay Packers are done with Aaron Rodgers. They're disgusted with Aaron Rodgers. They're moving on. And then we get a report like yesterday, 2 days ago, oh, Aaron Rodgers is like coming back to the Packers. So what is going on here? What is going on here? So the moment I hear from Aaron Rodgers himself of his decision is when I'm going to realize, and we're all should realize, where Aaron Rodgers' future is. I'm not going to take those reports seriously until we hear from the man himself. Because if you guys watched the Pat McAfee show and you heard from Aaron Rodgers, he said that nobody knows anything about himself. Nobody knows anything about Aaron Rodgers but his inner circle, and his inner circle doesn't talk to anybody. So the only thing we're hearing from sources is from the Packers side of things. We're not hearing from Aaron Rodgers' camp yet. We haven't heard a peep out of Aaron Rodgers' perspective. All these insiders of the Green Bay Packers, that's coming from the Packers organization. Maybe they're saying they want to keep Aaron Rodgers. That doesn't mean Aaron Rodgers wants to stay with them. So that's why all these conflicting reports are really interesting to figure out. So I think that It's between Derek Carr and Aaron Rodgers. I think we've all known that. That's not breaking news. But in today's live stream, I want to get your guys' thoughts in the live chat and really dissect the updated stuff regarding all the latest news surrounding the New York Jets and this quarterback search. Before we get deeper into this quarterback search, I do want to give a big shout out to the sponsor of today's live stream, which is the official sportsbook sponsor of Jets Media, which is BetUS. BetUS is the official sportsbook sponsor, and if you guys want to click the link down below in the description, you'll get $50 when you sign up without even making a deposit. They got a lot of fun things coming your way throughout the NFL draft. I know that the football season's over, but you get a 125% sign-up bonus when you sign up using my code. So you can even bet on the XFL, anybody that's interested in that. You can bet on the Super Bowl for next year, who's going to win that. The NFL draft, which is my favorite bets, who's going to go the first pick, who's going to be the first quarterback, who's going to be the first defensive player. They got a lot of fun bets over here on BetUS. So again, guys, if you want to use my promo code down below in the description, please consider that because I really have to thank BetUS for sponsoring today's video. They've been doing a great job sponsoring me, and I want to give them a big-time shout-out. So again, thank you to BetUS. Now, let's get further into this quarterback search. Oh, man. I want to get your guys' thoughts in the chat first and foremost, though. What does the chat have to say about this quarterback search? Because I feel like there's a lot to talk about. All right. We need to sign Carr. Keep the draft capital and keep building. Mr. Boise Bomber, a great member of the channel. I appreciate you, my friend. And listen, we all know that the plus of Derek Carr is you don't give up any draft capital, for sure. And I just want to remind everybody, any quarterback we get is an upgrade than what we had. Pretty good thing. Does hiding from your wife and kids count as a darkness retreat? If so, I'm on one right now. Yeah, I guess you can count that. That's funny. If I don't know who our quarterback is soon, I'll need a darkness retreat. My wife wants to cut me right now from talking about it. Oh, you guys are great. Richie going on a darkness retreat this summer? No, not yet. Not yet, Kent. My team and my life are on the line here. All of our lives are on the line with this quarterback situation, man. With a functional quarterback, we are a winner. Yes, we are a winner. We are a playoff team, actually. I see Carr going to the Jets. So I think if I was a betting man, which I kind of am, my gut, and listen, my gut is just my gut, right? I'm not saying I have sources or anything, but if I had to predict, I'm going to predict Derek Carr is going to be the Jet quarterback. That's my prediction. I just have a feeling that's who it's going to be. I don't know. Hey, we got my man Ryan in the chat. Rodgers is the better quarterback, but I find myself drawn to Carr's personality and underdog mentality. I think he fits the personality of the team, similar to taking Sauce over Tibb. Very interesting right there. Okay. I like that, Ryan. I like that comparison. I think he fits the personality of the team, similar to taking Sauce over Thibodeau. So what he's referring to is, if you guys remember the draft process last year, there was a lot of debates between Kayvon Thibodeau, Sauce Gardner, all these other draft picks at number 4. And I would say majority of Jets fans at the time, and some of you guys probably won't admit it, wanted Thibodeau over Sauce. And I think that Sauce easily was the right pick. And, maybe Derek Carr is that guy that has that underdog feel to him. Because, and another thing I want to bring up that I haven't really talked about yet is the report that the Jets told him that he could be a Hall of Fame quarterback if he comes here and wins. And that quote just had it being spinned in the media like, oh, the Jets are morons. Why are they saying that? They don't know shit. Shut up, media. Like, literally, like, they're just twisting things. What the Jets meant by telling Derek Carr that, and by the way, they're freaking right. Because, listen, you guys know this. Jets fans know this. If Derek Carr comes to the New York Jets and he's a winner while he's here, 4 years, 5 years, whatever it is. And by a winner, I mean going to the playoffs, winning playoff games, getting into the AFC Conference Championship. Who knows? Maybe a Super Bowl. I'm not saying that's happening. But if he plays the caliber that he's been playing with the Raiders, and even a little bit better, he is a Hall of Fame quarterback potentially. And that's not that like far-fetched. If you look at his stats, they're pretty good right now. And I think that Derek Carr, if he comes to the Jets and wins, he will become the savior of this franchise. Us as a fan base is going to crown him the king, because we have been starving, we have been famished, we have been fasting, whatever word you want to call it, for a quarterback in my entire life. I'm about to turn 25 on April 1st. I haven't had a franchise quarterback in my life. I became a Jets fan with Chad Pennington. I was a baby with Vinny Testaverde, so I don't really consider myself a fan when I was like 3 years old. But Chad Pennington, I guess you can call him a franchise quarterback. But since then, we got Brett Favre. I don't need to go through all the quarterbacks we've been through in my lifetime. I know there's older Jets fans in the chat, and you guys have been waiting longer than me. But if we get Derek Carr and he brings stability, he brings a winner, he brings durability, he could be the first quarterback to play a full season since who knows when. He will become the king of the city in any sport. Seriously. If Derek Carr comes here and wins, and you could say that with Aaron Rodgers as well, by the way, I think Derek Carr could potentially be a Hall of Fame quarterback. Is that too much for me? Am I like shooting for the stars a little bit? No, because we're not saying the Jets didn't tell Derek Carr, yeah, if you come to the Jets, you're going to be a Hall of Famer. No, they said if you come to the Jets and you succeed at the highest level and you play your best football that you've ever had, because his 9 years with the Raiders, they weren't off the charts great, but they were quality, good. So then you go from good into great with the Jets, you're a Hall of Famer. So I also want to talk about the projected contract with Derek Carr, because I think he's looking for around $35 million annually plus. I think that's the floor. I would prefer something less as a fan, right? As a selfish fan, want to get as much cap as possible. But I think if you look at the quarterback market, you see what Daniel Jones is trying to get, you see where he's at in his age, I think a $35 million annual contract makes sense. Probably going to have to pay a little more than that because you have to overpay for quarterbacks. And I'm okay with that. We haven't had a quarterback, I just said, forever. So overpay for a damn quarterback if you have to. If it's $37 million, okay, get him in the building. It would be really nice to feel like we have one guy that can play an entire season, right? When's the last time that happened? I think 35 mil, maybe 38 if you're really stretching it. $40 million, I'd be like, all right, Derek Carr, we get it. You're right. Okay, relax, Derek. You're not getting 40. But if it has to be 40, okay. I don't know. I wouldn't be jumping for joy with $40 million, but you also have to put in consideration the market and all these quarterbacks are getting paid. And we just need a quarterback. If you got to overpay for one, you overpay for one. All right? Ryan says, I agree, Richie. 35 mil feels right. Yeah, $35. That's it, Ryan. Just kidding. He is going to retire with 50K passing yards, 350 to 400 touchdowns, slap a Super Bowl win with the Jets on there, and yeah, he's a Hall of Fame. Maybe not first ballot. Yeah, maybe not first ballot, but hell yeah, that's a Super Bowl. Yeah, at 40 is insane for sure. Alfredo, as a Raiders fan, one thing for sure you'll get with Carr is a leader and someone that will give you his all. Thank you, Alfredo, for tuning in, man. I appreciate that. I agree. Something that Derek Carr has is a leadership vibe to him where he would galvanize the locker room. The whole team will not only us fans are starving for a quarterback, but can't you guys tell how starving the team, and when I say the team, the players are for a quarterback? You see all these Sauce Gardner, Breece Hall, even Mekhi Becton, they're all on social media, even DJ Reed, they're all out there trying to get Derek Carr or Aaron Rodgers. It's obvious. So can you imagine how they're going to feel if Derek Carr or Aaron Rodgers comes? I think Derek Carr is a natural leader. I think he will get the best out of guys like Garrett Wilson and Elijah Moore and, dare I say, Denzel Mims. And, hey, don't sleep on Jeremy Ruckert, the young pup for next year, and Breece Hall and Michael Carter and whoever else we add. I think Derek Carr is the answer. And Aaron Rodgers is my number one target for sure. But if we get Derek Carr, I'm a pumped up man. And I think that the expectation for this team is playoffs. Mojo Jet says, you guys are crazy if you think Carr isn't getting at least $40 million. Not saying he's worth it, but that's the market. Mojo Jets, you do bring up a good point. And I do want to warn Jets fans that we are going, if we sign Derek Carr, it's going to be more money than we would like to give him because this is the quarterback market. And what you guys have to realize about the money that's being handed out around the NFL, especially at the quarterback position, is when the NFL cap spaces rise every year like it did this season, that means players get paid more money. That's why you're seeing these contracts that are just ridiculous. Okay? So you got to pay the quarterbacks based on the market. There's a reason why Daniel Jones is looking for $45 million annually, which is ridiculous, by the way. But unfortunately, the reality of the situation is for this Jets team, if we want a quarterback like Derek Carr, we are going to have to overpay. Now, the question is, do you feel comfortable overpaying for a guy like Derek Carr? I think the guarantee is going to be the big question about the contract because you can give him, say $38 million. $38 million per year. Now, let's do the math. We're gonna do the math together. $38 million per year for 5 seasons is a $152 million contract. Say 90 of that is guaranteed. I don't know. Shouldn't we have heard more teams looking to trade for Carr if they felt his previous contract would have been a good deal? It was 32, 41, 41. Yeah, I mean, that's his contract that he had with the Raiders. And I think that if I'm the Jets, that's what the contract's going to be like. They're probably going to do an ascending deal where it's going to be less of a cap hit early on, and then it's going to be ascending because we want to win now. Yo, Ryan, what are you doing right now? You want to hop on the stream? I mean, pull up. I'll send you the link. But no, I'm kidding. You don't have to. You're probably busy with your kid, and you're like, you don't want to hop on the stream. You're busy. This is your time off, and you're just enjoying a Jets media stream. I don't blame you, Ryan. Enjoy. He could have declined a trade, but I'm surprised teams didn't call to ask at least. Didn't the Jets call the Raiders to check in at least? Or no? Rodgers said he wants Fresca. Took him 3 days in isolation to make a decision. LOL, I'm enjoying chilling. I love it, Ryan. No worries, my friend. What's up? Welcome. Market D's. Pay Mike White $10 million per year and we're good. I don't know about that one. I love me some Mike White, but that's... Zach Wilson is done if we get Carr. Yeah, he is. Bye, Zach. Looks like a lot of our players want Carr. That's a fact, Tennessee. And that's why I feel like if we do get him, everyone's just going to... Derek Carr is a natural-born leader. You can just feel that he would get this locker room going, and the teammates will look up to him and just really galvanize behind him, and it'll be a good match, man. Guys, we have around 28 likes and 91 people tuning in. If you guys could do me a gigantic favor, please hit that like button for your boy. It would greatly, greatly mean a lot to the channel, everybody. Let's get to 50 likes. I don't know if that's too much to asking for, but if you guys can do me a favor, run up that thumbs up button. Let's freaking go, baby. Let's go, baby. Ryan says, sorry, I meant if people think Carr is getting 40 plus, then wouldn't more teams have called the Raiders to get him on his previous contract? Yeah, that definitely makes sense. I think the only skeptical reasoning behind Carr getting 40 million is the market. I wouldn't feel comfortable giving him that. But the market, we'll see, Ryan. I'm with you on that one. Like paying quarterbacks is like paying for gas. You pay whatever the price is. I hit the like button. Thank you, Mojo Jets, for hitting the like button. And this is a great point, right? Gas prices, when they're through the roof, well, guess what? You need gas to drive, so you're still paying them money. Sucks that it's high, blah, blah, blah. But quarterback, we don't have a quarterback, so you pay for one. I like that analogy. If we get Rodgers, do you want Wilson as a number 2 or someone else ahead of him? You know, I've said it before, but I don't think it's likely because of the money situation. But I would love to bring back Mike White. even if we get Aaron Rodgers, personally, because I like going into the season with 3 quarterbacks instead of 2. But don't sleep on the Jets adding a veteran, even though if we still get Aaron Rodgers to be the backup, because I don't know if the Jets want to throw Zach Wilson as the number 2 guy, the next man up, because I don't know if they really believe that he's ready to go. He feels like just a broken product that needs to be fixed over time. Redshirt him another year. I have no idea. But it's probably going to be a veteran that's going to be added. I don't know. Not Joe Flacco, but someone similar to Joe Flacco, right? I'm hoping that they're done with the Joe Flacco experiment because I cannot stand watching that man. Bless you. Thank you. Derek Carr's leadership and durability alone is worth $30 million a year. Facts. Zach Rosenblatt says Lamar is a real option. If Aaron Rodgers and Carr don't sign in for it, want to be excited for a season. Yeah, so the Lamar Jackson situation is interesting. He wants a fully guaranteed contract. Fully guaranteed, like Deshaun Watson. And the question is, would the Jets feel comfortable giving a fully guaranteed $230 million contract to Lamar Jackson? Would you guys feel comfortable with that? I mean, it's Lamar Jackson's special. Don't get me started. I love that man. Love Lamar Jackson. Always been a fan of his game. I always defended him when people were hating on him, saying that he's just a running back and he can't throw. I always went out. But the thing about Lamar that really hurts is not only you have to give him a fully guaranteed contract, you got to give up draft capital. Now it hurt this team. The perfect quarterback for the Jets is Geno. Come on, don't get me excited. Brees and Lamar, I know it's dumb, but it would be so lit. Oh my God, it would be lit, bro. I'd be shocked if Lamar was traded inside the AFC. Feels like Falcons all day. They offer money and picks for Watson. Yeah, Atlanta is definitely the front runner. Josh, I'm here, Richie F. Madden. So if anyone's familiar of my AFC East Roundtable YouTube channel, I'm the commissioner for our Madden Connected Franchise League. We did a whole fantasy draft. And my man Josh here, I beat him yesterday. And he's a little pissed, which is why he's saying F Madden. I'm the Jets. I got Geno Smith as my quarterback. I got Saquon Barkley as my running back. I got DJ Reed and Michael Carter II and Carl Lawson on the defense representing. And I beat my man Josh. I'm 2-4, though. So I'm still working my way up. 1 game back from the Patriots. Things will look good. If you guys are into Madden and you want to follow along with my Connected franchise, check out the AFC's Roundtable. Lamar to Atlanta. Can definitely see that. How the Jets thought that Sam Darnold was better than Lamar Jackson. Yeah, I mean, Larry David didn't see that. Larry David called Mike McCagnon. He's like, hey, draft Lamar. And Mike McCagnon was like, ha, ha, ha. We got to start listening to Larry David, I guess. Larry David's a legend. They might as well keep Zach and try to build him as a backup. I think the only avenue to fix Zach Wilson personally is Aaron Rodgers coming to the Jets. I don't think Derek Carr is going to help him out because Derek Carr is the answer. Aaron Rodgers kind of a 2-year thing. What's up, Richie? Join late. 15-second recap. All right, here we go. We're talking about Aaron Rodgers and Derek Carr. We talked about Aaron Rodgers coming out of his retreat. He was like this in darkness for 3 days. Now he's awake. And now all the news is coming out of where he was in the retreat, which I find interesting as someone that has been on many retreats. Not a darkness retreat, but I've been on yoga retreats and meditation, stuff like that. So he had a little hobbit-like room, 300 square feet, a meditation pillow, a bed, and a toilet. That's freaking funny. So Rodgers has emerged from the darkness, and now we're waiting for Aaron Rodgers' decision. And the latest on Derek Carr is we're waiting to see where his next visit is going to be, and his decision is probably not going to come for the next couple of weeks. So we still got some time here to figure out this Jet situation, but there's not really too much new news, breaking stuff that's going on besides just speculation around the contracts and speculation around if Aaron Rodgers wants to come. We're also hearing conflicting reports from the Green Bay Packers side of things. Last week we heard, Green Bay's done with Aaron Rodgers. And then a couple days ago, the Packers actually want Rodgers back. So it's like, okay, enough of this nonsense. I don't believe any of these reports coming from the Packers organization until I hear from Aaron Rodgers, the man himself. That's what I would have to say to you guys. Because all the reports we're hearing about Rodgers is coming from the Packers. It's not coming from Rodgers. So wait to hear from the man himself, Rodgers. All right? I don't know when that's going to be, because those retreats, it takes some time to get readjusted to the world. So I don't know if Rodgers is going to come out of the darkness today and jump right into a meeting with the Packers. I'm assuming, as someone with experience with these type of retreats, that you're going to take a little time to just kind of reacclimate to the world and, get used to, not being in silence, whatever he was doing. So yeah. Carr was on a team with so many head coach and a D never higher than 26. Bring him to New York and watch how different things will be. He will be so much better than he was in the Raiders. Yes, Daniel, I'm with you. Packers saying they want him back to drive the price up. Yeah, that's possible, Hennessy. The Zach trade is derailed. We need him to just accept it. He is not the franchise quarterback. I didn't think he could be worse than Sam, but he's much worse. Yeah, it's sad, right? I didn't think he could be worse than Sam, and I love Sam. New York City media will destroy Aaron. I think Rodgers can handle it, to be honest. Like, Rodgers at this point of his career, like, he can handle getting disgruntled. Like, he can handle getting the media trying to spin narratives about him. Like, he's kind of used to it in a national light. So I think in the biggest city in the world, he'd be able to handle it. Like, oh, this guy is asking him a question about this and he's going to write a story on him. I think Rodgers is going to, like, laugh at it. He's not going to really... He's, like, comfortable to, like, be... I don't know if that makes sense. If Rodgers is basically choosing his team, don't you think the Packers would have no leverage and can't ask for a king's ransom? If he'll only play for the Jets, why would we have to give up any firsts at all? It's a good point, Peter. I'm hopeful, and I know Ryan made this video yesterday on his channel, that Daniel Jeremiah might have put a little nugget in his mock draft, but I'm hopeful that we can just give up a second and maybe a conditional first, if that, for next year. I want to hold on to that 13th overall pick if we get Rodgers. So bad, bro. So bad. Flip it. Could New York media handle him? Good question. I think the New York media, like Rich Tamini and all those guys, they'd love it. Honestly, I don't know if they can handle it, because they're going to try to get him disgruntled. Like, this is my perception of it. I feel like they're going to try to get under his skin and be like, ooh, Rodgers, blah, 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 blah. And Rodgers would be like, they're like trying to get him to say something. And Rodgers is like so above that by now. And he just doesn't give them what they want. And I think that's what's going to happen. Like, Saleh is so good at that. Like, the amount of times that you hear a question from the media to Saleh that is just pinning him in a corner, and Saleh does a great job of, avoiding saying something that's like polarizing, is great. I mean, not to say he hasn't had some stuff like the receipts comments and other things that some people get upset about, but I think that Rodgers would be do a good thing. We need that pick for O-lineman. Yes, Peter, that's exactly what we need. Can't wait for Jets-Giants game in season. Yeah, they got to make that prime time, right? That has to be Sunday Night Football. We haven't been on Sunday Night Football since 2012, I think. What's that about, NFL? To be honest, I think not hearing anything in the next day or two is a big hint that Aaron Rodgers gets traded from Green Bay. Would say right, but if he's staying. Yeah, I think this is the weekend where Rodgers is really going to decide his own fate. And then at the beginning of next week, on Monday, Tuesday range, is where we're going to hear about Rodgers' decision regarding his future. Haven't heard about Carr scheduling any visits to any more teams. Yeah, haven't heard that yet. I'm assuming we're going to hear that in the next couple of days. Remember, we heard that the Jets are visiting Derek Carr last Friday, and then they visit for the weekend. So maybe tomorrow we'll hear Derek Carr's next visit. And right when he scheduled the visit, some Jets fans will be like, see, why did the Jets close the deal with Carr? Why is he visiting other teams? Because Derek Carr himself wants to do his due diligence, and he, as a first-time free agent in his life, wants to go out there and see what other teams have to offer. Okay? It's not because the Jets didn't – and the Jets would be dumb to be the only team to give him an offer, because then Derek Carr has leverage. Like, oh, well, the Jets offered me this. Are you going to up it? Or are you going to – Moose City with the first super chat of the night, or it's not nighttime, is it? 3:30. First super chat of the afternoon/evening. Thank you, Moose City. $5. I appreciate that, my friend. Who are you taking at 13 if we still have the pick? I'm happy with Carl Rodgers. I just want it sorted out ASAP. I think the best offensive tackle available is the pick. That's it. There's a lot of great offensive tackles that I like. And I think that the best one available is what has to be the pick. I would love, don't sleep on my man Mekhi Becton, by the way. Just because I want an offensive tackle doesn't mean I'm sleeping on Mekhi. This is the tackle to pair up with Mekhi Becton for the future. So we got Mekhi at left tackle. We draft the tackle to go at right tackle or vice versa. I don't care. Mekhi's slimmed down. Mekhi's looking good. But right now, I don't feel comfortable with Dwayne Brown and Max Mitchell and Mekhi Becton. We got to add another one. And if they go with the offensive tackle in free agency and they sign one and they trade for one and we have depth there and Mekhi Becton's here and all these guys are healthy, then maybe we don't go tackle. Maybe we go, guess what? Another offensive weapon for all I know. Or a defensive guy. I don't know. But I think offense, we'll see. But how about the rookies from last year, man? I mean, it's kind of unbelievable when you think back to last year's draft class and all the hype leading up to it because of all of the draft picks that we had, bro. What a draft. What a freaking draft we had, man. I want to play you guys a video, but it's really sad because we hear Dan Orlovsky says, I think Zach Wilson's going to be great. And he's not good, Dan Orlovsky. Sorry, but thanks for saying that stuff. But I just want to play a quick video for you guys because it was my old intro to my live streams and it highlights my reactions to all the draft picks. And I think it's cool to look back on that. So I just want to play this real quick and let's discuss it. All right, well, the stream is... Let's go. Start it up.
NFL draft. The New York Jets select Sauce Gardner.
Sauce Gardner is a New York Jet!
Swaggy Sauce Gardner.
I love Sauce. I love his tape. I love his press technique. I love his confidence. He has everything you want to see in the position. And I think Robert Saleh in this scheme is perfect. It's a hand-in-glove fit for him, man.
Garrett Wilson.
It's Garrett Wilson. The New York Jets have just got two big-time playmakers.
I believe that Garrett Wilson is going to be the most impactful rookie receiver in this class. And I think we see Zach Wilson play like he did the last 6 games of the year, times 10, and have a phenomenal second season.
Wow, you think? Yeah! Let's Jermaine Johnson!
Breece Hall, running back, Iowa State.
Breece Hall, oh my God, they got him. They went offense. They went with the best running back in the draft. Jeremy Rucker, oh my God. The Long Island native is a New York Jet.
Jet-E-T-S, Jet.
Let's go! All right, so that just really brings me back, man. That brings me back. Last year's draft class was just so freaking special. And it's so cool a year later, we're looking back on it. We got 2 rookie of the years. Breece Hall is a dog. Don't sleep on my guy, Jermaine Johnson. It just makes me happy. It makes me happy, bro. Jeremy Ruckert, breakout season. Yes, sure. Ryan's liking it. But it doesn't it just really like... And that was all before the season started. That was all their college tape. That didn't include what they did. And that video, by the way, if you really want to get hyped up, that was just a chopped up version of the rookie hype video I made after the draft last year. And that video is my most viewed video on my channel. It has 53,000 views, which is wild. So if you guys want to check that out, it's on my channel, the rookie hype video from last year's draft class. But it really does remind us that the reason why we are being so aggressive at the quarterback spot is because of the youth, because of the draft that we had last year. I mean, Sauce, I know that like this whole offseason has been kind of like overshadowed with the quarterback search, and we haven't really been able to appreciate what we do have with Sauce and Garrett, and they were honored when they won their awards. I'm not saying Jets fans aren't appreciating them, but I feel like the narrative around this Jets right now amongst the fans has been all about the quarterback search, and rightfully so. It's a freaking big-ass deal. But when you look back at last season and you think about how special it was with these individual performances, and I know that it didn't end well, and I know that it sucks that we lost 6th Street, and I get all that, but bro, getting Sauce Gardner number 4, getting Garrett Wilson at 10, trading up for Jermaine Johnson, getting Breece Hall in the 2nd round, I mean, that's special. That's franchise-altering stuff right there, which is why we get Derek Carr, we get Aaron Rodgers. We're ready to go. We're ready to freaking get this. On top of more picks coming up. Don't sleep on Joe Douglas. This year's draft, we're going to be trading up for someone. We might trade down as well. This is it. We're going to win the AFC East with Derek Carr. Did I just say that? Did I just say that we're going to win the AFC East with Derek Carr? Yeah, I did say that. Want to know why? Because we were in the running to win the AFC East with Zach Wilson. That's why, okay? Put some respect on the Jets' name. The reason why I believe that as well is because our defense, I mean, the Dolphins are going to be better. The Bills, I don't know. We'll see. Jermaine and Clemens will get big-time play this season. Yes. Yes, they will. Best draft ever? Best draft in Jets history? Yes. I mean, dude, 2 Rookie of the Years, 3rd time in NFL history. Damn right we'll win the AFC East with Carr. Yeah, Danny. We need, do you know what we need for that to happen? Is the O-line to stay healthy. And that's a thing about the offensive line that some people are getting lost in. Everyone keeps saying, oh, the O-line sucks. The O-line needs this. The O-line needs that. Well, please don't forget that the reason why the offensive line stunk last year was because of the injuries. It wasn't because the talent we had. It wasn't because Joe Douglas ignored the offensive line and hasn't added talent. The talent wasn't the issue, guys. It was the injuries. If you look at the starting 5 that are supposed to be in training camp, Mekhi Becton, Elijah Vera Tucker, Connor McGovern, Lincoln Tomlinson, and George Fant. That was supposed to be the starting 5. Nope. We didn't see that once. Mekhi Becton goes down for the year. George Fant's injured to start it off. Dwayne Brown's hurt. We're starting rookie Max Mitchell. I mean, I don't need to go through the injuries, but we had 5 or 6 tackles on the injured reserve list. You can't survive like that. So we need the O-line healthy. We need the O-line healthy. That's step number 1. We need to get a center if we're moving off of McGovern. We need Lincoln Tomlinson to step up because he had a disappointing season with the Jets, and I think we all understand that. So the O-line is the missing piece of this offense outside of the quarterback, but don't make it seem like the O-line is missing everything. We have Elijah Vera Tucker, who was on trajectory of being an all-pro potential player last year before he gets injured. Mekhi Becton was a damn freak of nature when he was a rookie and healthy. So let's hope that he's slimming down and he stays healthy this season. And he's on the field for the full year. That would be huge. Those are 2 big-time cornerstones, and not to mention some talent we're going to add to this offseason. Lincoln Tomlinson, he did not play great, but he's no scrub. He gives you durability. He gives you an identity on the O-line. Hopefully he can have a bounce back. I mean, he can't play worse than last year, can he? We still got Dwayne Brown. I know that we can cut him, but why cut Dwayne Brown if we can use him as our swing tackle? The more depth, the better. You know, the pending free agents that we need to talk about is Quincy Williams and Quan Alexander. Are we going to be able to re-sign both of them? Probably not. Give me one of those, though. Center and OT are priority. Adams can be the answer at safety. Tony Adams, you mean? Yeah, I love Tony Adams. Hello, Richie, and hello, Jets fans. I just subscribed right now. Welcome, Turbo, to the Jets Media subscription list, man. I appreciate you tuning in. We may need a center, O-tackle, safety, and linebacker. Yeah, I mean, that's and the thing that we need to talk about as well when it comes to the needs is, do you guys realize that the needs right now are a lot less than what it usually is in the offseason? This is the first offseason I can remember that we're not even talking about the corners being touched in the offseason. We don't even need to think about a cornerback because all the corners, including the depth pieces, are under contract for long term. Sauce is here long term. DJ Reed's here for another 2 years. Michael Carter II under contract under a rookie deal for a while. Bryce Hall, Brandon Echols, rookie deals. So we don't even need to touch that room. That's beautiful. The wide receiver room, it's not a weakness. We got our number one receiver in Garrett. We got Elijah Moore, who I'm excited to do with another system. We got Denzel Mims. I know that Berrios and Davis could be expendable. We're definitely going to add another receiver or two to the unit, but it's not like a glaring hole. The running back room, I like the way it looks. Breece Hall, Carter, and Bam Knight. You maybe bring in another one just because of Breece Hall's injury. Who knows? I like that. The tight end room, we don't have to think about the tight end room. We got the two veterans who I'm comfortable with the rookie and Rucker going into year 2. I like that. And Kenny Yeboah, I like the tight ends. So the needs are quarterback, O-line, interior D-line, linebacker, safety. Let's go. And you got to pay Quinnen. Definitely got to pay Quinnen. That's going to be a big thing to follow. Are we gonna pay Quinnen or not? Because my man Quinnen deserves to be here forever. He deserves to get taken care of. And I want to be an organization that takes care of our own. Please. Please. So, yeah, guys, that's really the update on the Jets quarterback search with Derek Carr and Aaron Rodgers. The latest news I can give you guys about Derek Carr is the contract is going to be around $35 million plus per year, I'd have to guess. The meeting with Derek Carr and the Jets went very well, but he still is going to have to take time to make his final decision. And then Aaron Rodgers has emerged from the darkness. Moose City, another $2. Give Q the bag. Yes. Give Q the bag indeed, bro. That man deserves to be a top 5 defensive tackle paid, payment-wise. And I want to be an organization that sets the tone. If you play at this level, if you could become a first all-pro team, a Pro Bowler, someone that can impact the game consistently, you will get taken care of and you will get paid what you deserve. I do not want to be a team that starts lowballing and being cheap. Pay that man. The defense is nothing without Quinnen. That interior pressure is everything. It opens up so much for the other players in the D-line, opens up opportunities for the secondary to make plays on the ball. All great things. You think Rodgers will make his decision next week? I think so. I think next week is when we're going to hear the Rodgers news. If Zach Wilson was a solid starter on his rookie contract, life would be a lot easier for the Jets. Yeah, tell me about it. But that's not the case. So can't live with that. If Zach Wilson was like a top 15 quarterback, we'd be good. But he's not. Get Josh Jacobs? No. No. Appreciate the no. Yeah, no. Breece Hall. You don't pay running backs. Remember when we paid Le'Veon Bell? Yeah, you don't pay running backs. I'd extend Lawson and push some of his money back. This is a really underrated piece of this offseason that I'm excited to see what happens. If I'm the New York Jets, I am re-signing Lawson and somehow restructuring the contract to make sure that he's here. Because for the people that are like, yeah, cut him, save the $15 million, I get it. But I don't at the same time. Because don't make it seem like Carl Lawson's a scrub. He's coming off a career high in sacks after coming off an Achilles injury where he spent the whole offseason rehabbing. This offseason, he's not rehabbing. He gets to train like a normal player. And we need an edge rusher. Without Carl Lawson, the edge rushers become a little thin. And I know that we love Jermaine Clemens and Huff, but we need Carl Lawson on the defense, bro. I'm telling you. We need Carl Lawson on his defense. So I'm really hoping that the New York Jets somehow figure out a way to extend him and push some money back. Come on. Who is your sleeper quarterback other than the ones we all know about? Well, for the Jets, there's no sleeper quarterback I want besides Carr and Rodgers, to be honest. I personally don't. I personally want Derek Carr and Rodgers. If it's anybody else, I'd be slightly disappointed. But anybody else would be an upgrade of what we had. Sleeper, Geno Smith. That's my sleeper. How about that? Geno. He's a free agent. Would you cut Braxton Berrios? I might be the only Jets fan on planet Earth that would prefer not to cut Braxton Berrios. And I know you guys in the chat are going to say, what, Richie? Get rid of Berrios. He dropped the touchdown. He's not worth the money. I hear you guys, but I don't know. I'm someone that saw Braxton Berrios in the early part of the year, and I like his game a lot. I do. I like his game. And I know he struggled at the end of the year, but I like to give Braxton another chance in his final year of his contract. I would. If they could figure out contractually and financially that they can keep Braxton and still add the talent, I like that. Because then you get rid of Braxton, you get rid of Corey Davis, then you got 2 holes at the wide receiver room you got to fill. I don't know. That's just me. I know that he dropped that touchdown in Minnesota that we could have won the game, and it still haunts me. It's not like we're keeping Berrios to be a starter on the team either. He's wide receiver 4 or 5. He's a special teams punt returner, kick returner. He had 2 great touchdowns early on in the year. He was making plays early on in the year, and then he fell off. Imagine Berrios at Rodgers. That's what I'm saying, Hennessy. You get it? Like, I think Berrios with a good quarterback would be a good player. Why am I the only one that sees that? Like, are people just holding on to that one drop he had in Minnesota and saying that he's trash? Like, he's a gadget guy that you can give him the end arounds. You can get him in the slot. You can make plays. I mean, I want to have a deep wide receiver room. I don't want to have just a top-heavy receiver room. I want to have good receivers starting and good guys that can come in on certain plays. I don't know, man. I think Berrios with a good quarterback is a quality football player. And he obviously needs to improve his return game as well. Don't forget that he was literally an all-pro punt returner, kick returner 2 years ago as well. So it's not like he's just a scrub. And I don't like the people that are just saying he's a bum because that's just not true. I know that he definitely messed up this past season when it comes to punt returns, calling fair catches and not catching them, all those things. I get all that. But I think he's someone that can improve his game. I think that he's a very intelligent person, by the way. Very smart. I think Braxton Berrios is somebody that is going to improve and learn from his mistakes. He's going to look at his film and say, and he's going to improve. I believe in that. I do. I guess I'm in the minority, and I'm okay with that. I'll stand by that. What do you think about Robert Woods, a free agent? Should the Jets try to sign him? No, thank you. Not really. Robert Woods, nah. I think there's bigger options out there that I prefer. But he's not bad. John Franklin Myers wants him. I know that. Do the Jets draft a wide receiver? So, fun fact. Joe Douglas has drafted a wide receiver high in the draft in the first 2 rounds every single draft of his career with the Jets. He's had 3 drafts so far. This is going to be his 4th. I think this is Joe Douglas, and I don't think it's going to change. First draft, he drafts Denzel Mims in the 2nd round. His second draft, he drafts Elijah Moore in the 2nd round. His last draft, he drafted Garrett Wilson in the 1st round. I think he's going to draft another receiver, maybe not the first 2 rounds, maybe in round 3. Or if history repeats itself, he might draft a freaking receiver in the first 2 rounds. I think he wants to make that wide receiver room consistent with youth. And I always compare this to the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers draft a receiver every year and always hit on them. Always. Goes back to Antonio Brown. And then they get Juju Smith-Schuster. And then he was great with the Steelers for a year or two. And then they get Chase Claypool. He was great. And they trade him. They got Deontay Johnson. The list goes on. And they draft the receiver every year. And I think the Jets are trying to do the same thing where they draft the receiver every season. Just so if someone walks in free agency eventually, or they have to trade some of them because they're asking for too much money, it's okay because they have someone else behind them that's younger and coming up and cheap. I think that's what their goal is. Who are our cap casualties? So Corey Davis is a big one. Carl Lawson is a big one as well. Berrios is one. And then there's like smaller cap casualties, guys like Braden Mann, Bryce Hall, all those smaller guys. Thanks for the $2, my friend. Besides the room, even strong enough to forego drafting wide receiver, Moore is still a proven guy for me. Yeah, that's another thing, man. We need to get, not to mention George Pickens. Forgot about him. That's what I'm saying. The Steelers are doing a good job with that. But we need another receiver. And I would like the Jets to draft it because the wide receivers are very expensive. The good ones are expensive. And that's kind of a position that I think the Jets are trying to make sure they have a pipeline because Garrett Wilson is going to be cheap for a while, which is very good. And he's going to be a really good receiver. He's one of those guys that's going to be playing like Jamar Chase level. He's going to be playing like Justin Jefferson level. Maybe not as good, but close to it. CeeDee Lamb level as rookies on rookie contracts. That's such a luxury when you can hit on a wide receiver in the draft. So why not keep drafting them? So you always have fresh, new. And the Jets have been doing that with the running back position too. His first draft, they get Michael Carter. Right? Well, the first draft, actually, LaMichael Pirine. Didn't work out. Second draft, Michael Carter. Okay, that was a better draft pick. Third draft, Breece Hall. So you're noticing a trend here. Joe Douglas has drafted a running back in every single draft class. He's drafted a wide receiver in every single draft class. He wants to keep the playmakers young and fresh. So don't be surprised if the Jets draft another wide receiver and another running back. Luckily, we had 2 running backs from last year's draft class because we hit on Bam Knight in undrafted free agency. So, yes. Some positions that Joe Douglas has kind of been ignoring in the draft has been safety. He's only drafted 1 safety, Ashton Davis. I do got to give him credit, though. Tony Adams looks like a hit. Undrafted free agent last year. I think that Tony Adams has a chance to be a very good football player. Assuming 1 stays, 1 goes. Would you rather keep Corey Davis or Lawson? I'd rather keep Carl Lawson, for sure. I think Corey Davis, I like Corey Davis, but I think that that edge rusher, man, Carl Lawson, it has another level to his game to tap into. So I'm keeping Carl Lawson. The Eagles safety is a free agent. Yes, he is. I don't know if the Jets are going to spend big at the safety position. I think that they like to be young. I think they're going to keep Jordan Whitehead, and they're going to draft someone to be next to him or sign another B or C level guy. So let's see if there's any news. Doesn't really seem like it. Oh, man. I am so freaking excited to figure out who our quarterback is. How about this? LaDainian Tomlinson had a pitch for Derek Carr. LaDainian Tomlinson said, quote, if Derek Carr is listening right now, he has a boatload of young talent in New York, starting with Garrett Wilson. He also has Breece Hall, who's a stud. He can mold this young talent and teach them how to win football games. I love that. LT is a fan of Derek Carr coming. And I love how he says at the end of that quote, he can mold this young talent and teach them how to win football games. I like that. He could do that. He could be like, just make it happen already, bro. I can't stand waiting, bro. I know you guys are on the same level. I know it. We just need to make sure that we bring in Derek Carr. At this point, that's all I wanted. Like, you feel me? Like, Aaron Rodgers kind of feels too much of a dream at this point. I don't know why. It doesn't feel like it's going to happen. Derek Carr feels more likely, but it needs to be one of those two. Right? Today's the day Rodgers comes out of the cave. Yeah, he's out. But don't assume just because he's out of the cave today that we're going to hear from him, because I've been on retreats, not darkness retreats, but I've been on those stuff, and speaking from experience, the last thing you want to do when you're coming out of those retreats is immediately jump right back into the world. So I'm assuming Rodgers is going to take his time, readjust to his life outside of his isolation that he was in, and take some time to make his decision. And we're probably going to hear Rodgers' decision, the guest, next week, because he's going to have this weekend. How is Aaron a dream? Carr is a better QB. Aaron is old. I'm sorry, but Carr is not the better quarterback. Rodgers is a Hall of Famer. Okay. Super Bowl winner, 4-time MVP. I know he's older, but Carr isn't better. Did Joe Douglas announce on Tuesday, 11 a.m. press conference, an hour or two before A-Rod typically goes on Pat Mack? Is that true, Craig? I didn't see that. Where did you see this, my friend? Rodgers is the same old Jets move. Pull all your chips on the old vet. End up in the same situation when he retires in 1 to 2 years. Yeah, I mean, it feels like the same old Jets move, but the big difference here, my friend, is this Jets team is completely different than those other teams when we went all in for a quarterback. Okay? This team has so much youth, so much great talent that we can win with right now. And we have a short window to win with Garrett Wilson and Sauce and Brees and Elijah Moore and all the young talent that we have for cheap. So now is the time to win with them, which is why they want Aaron Rodgers, okay? That's why. That's who A-Rod was, not who he is. Aaron Rodgers is literally 12 months removed from back-to-back MVP. Okay? So the whole notion that Aaron Rodgers is washed up all of a sudden, where did that come from? Because he played with an injured thumb last year without his number one target, Devontae Adams, and he had a bunch of young receivers that he didn't like on his team. He literally won back-to-back MVPs last season. So, I don't know. I think this is more just coincidental, Craig, because Joe Douglas does speak to the media every year before the combine. So I wouldn't read too much into that. But thanks for letting us know. Is New York Jets going to keep C.J. Mosley? Hell yeah, they better keep that man. He's the captain of the defense, second All-Pro, Pro Bowler. He's my guy. Make C.J. Mosley a Jet for life, actually. Restructure his deal and extend him. I know I'm going to push some of you guys' buttons. Oh, C.J. sucks. No, he doesn't. I'll literally debate a wall defending my man, C.J. Mosley. Is he perfect? Does he have some plays where he messed up? Yeah, of course. But he is the heart and soul of the defense. Talk about a player that if you take him off this defense and he gets injured, the defense is not even close to what it was last season. He is a big reason why we're top 5. So, yes, keep him. Woo! All right, folks. Well, it's been an hour. Thank you guys for tuning into the show. It was a lot of fun talking Jets with you guys, as always. Hopefully, we get some type of clarity of where this Jets team is headed in terms of the quarterback search. If you guys could do me a gigantic favor and hit that like button. Let's go. Hit that thumbs up button, everybody. I want to get to 100 likes. We have 20 more to go. That would be sick if we can get to 100 likes before the end of the show, man. I appreciate you guys. It's been a long off season so far. things are going to start really picking up with the deadline, not the deadline, the combine, free agency. We're going to figure out a quarterback, and then we have the NFL draft. And there's a lot of fun stuff coming up soon. So I'll be reporting it here live on the channel, of course. So subscribe if you're new. Hit that like button if you enjoy the content. It really does help out the channel. But yeah, man, I'm going to wrap up the show here. Thank you to everybody that tuned in live. And any other news that comes out, you'll hear it here first on Jets Media. So I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you guys so much. And let's freaking go Jets as always. Go get me Derek Carr or Aaron Rodgers, Joe Douglas. For God's sakes. Peace.